So if you're unfamiliar with single setting movies, Locke might not be the first one you should watch. So Locke is one of those single setting movies in that the setting is pretty much just in one, well in this case it's just in a car. Pretty much the entire movie is just Tom Hardy sitting in his car, taking some phone calls and driving for like 1.5 hours. Now you might be thinking, well that kinda sounds boring, and sometimes it can be, and depending on, you know, whether or not you're invested in the dialogue, it can be boring or enjoyable. Tom Hardy's character Ivan Locke works with concrete and construction and things like that. He did something in the past and now he has to deal with it, along with dealing with his job as well. So this entire car ride for 1.5 hours is basically him making phone calls and dealing with the situation that he's in. You only really see one character in this movie, which is Tom Hardy. Everyone else, you just hear their voice through the phone calls. In a way, I would also say this is kind of like an extended advert for BMW, because they don't spare any of the camera angles to, you know, show that, oh, Tom Hardy is driving a BMW. But in any case, it's very dialogue driven. Personally, I like the visuals. As a filmmaker, I thought they were pretty cool to look at. They used a lot of like out of focus bokeh shots, a lot of reflections on the glass kind of shot. I would almost say it's kind of artsy, but I don't think this is really an art film per se. And it's also interesting how they managed to keep the movie entirely 1.5 hours in the car and have it somewhat not get too boring. And I say that because the movie is entirely dialogue driven, and to me at least the dialogue wasn't that interesting. Like the situation Tom Hardy is in didn't really interest me as much. I've seen quite a few single setting movies like Buried and Exam, and I think those movies had a better setting and story. So for me the movie did hold my attention for 1.5 hours, but I didn't find myself completely invested on the dialogue and the story of it all. So what I'm trying to say is this movie is definitely not for everyone. So like I said, it's a single setting, it's very dialogue driven, you only see one character. The character development is kind of so and so it might be difficult for some people to get into this and really enjoy it, because you might actually end up getting bored instead, which is what happened to one of my friends. But if you think the concept of single setting movies is interesting, you might want to go check out Buried, starring Ryan Reynolds, or Exam, which stars quite a few people, but you know, it's pretty interesting. So despite having some pretty cool visuals and a single setting, I found Locke kind of underwhelming because I wasn't really invested in the story and the dialogue as much as I guess the filmmakers wanted me to be. It was just enough to hold my attention. I would say go check out the trailer and see if it's something that you think you might enjoy. But if not, then you probably won't like it. So know what you're getting into and maybe you might enjoy it. But if any of you have actually seen Locke, I want to know what you guys think. Were you bored? Did you find it interesting? Did you find the visuals cool? Anyway, whatever you think, let me know in the comments below and I'll see you guys next time.